In the last video, we got to see how the domain flipping industry business works, and I showed it to you that you would need just 4 steps to actually make the business work out for you profitably. And the very first step involved researching the domain name you want to buy, and then we are going to be dwelling into researching domain names presently very soon as we delve more into the training. Then when you research the domain name, of course, when you are satisfied you are okay, you have to buy it. You could buy it from places like Just Dropped, which costs a whole lot more than $12. You get it for $67 and above. Or you could get it from platforms like expired domain that give out expired domain names, expireddomains.net. I hope I got the website right, but you are still going to see it. I don't really use that, though it's the free option. Then, or you can get it within premium softwares that helps you do the research, and you can buy it directly from within the softwares. And I am going to show you some of the recommended softwares that I've used, and the one I use right now, you are going to see it, that makes this business really easy for you. And the software just does the research for you, and you just come in there and do the buying. Then after researching, we have what is known as appraiser, which is the second step. Now, appraiser involves checking out if these domain names are actually valuable enough for you to buy. We saw that in the second step, and there are actually tools. We are going to see the free tools, and there are paid means you can actually use to do this, like GoDaddy and Afternic and Sedo and some of all those marketplaces. They can help you appraise the domain names even before, and tell you and show to you how much this domain name is actually really worth. Then after the appraiser, we see the selling process. You get to see how you set up a profile in these marketplaces like Flipper, like GoDaddy, like Sedo. You set up your profile and your mark, and you start selling up these domain names for profit and flipping them daily for profit. You are going to see how this is done as well. Then when you do sell a domain names or a handful of domain names, you need to transfer it to the new owner. So we also saw that in the last training. Now in this particular training, we are going to be looking at the domain flipping business vis-a-vis, that's versus the real estate business. You are going to see why the domain flipping business is really what you should be doing right now, especially when you consider all the advantages. And the one you are seeing on the screen now is just a little tip of the iceberg. Now, the very first reason why you should be considering getting into the domain flipping business when compared to real estate, both business models are very okay. But if you are low on cash, then you might want to consider domain flipping. And the very first reason I see it for you to consider this business is that it is not really involving. It is not stressful when you compare it to the brick and mortar real estate business. Take for instance, you don't need to deal with paperwork. There is nothing like C of O's. There's nothing like involving lawyers and all those shenanigans that comes with the real estate business. For the domain flipping business, it is straightforward. It is not stressful, and it's not as involving as the brick and mortar real estate business. Now, the second reason why domain flipping is actually very good model that you should be thinking of and getting into is that it is less risky compared to real estate business. The brick and mortar one comes with a whole lot of risk. You could get like in Nigeria, you see like several persons buying the same land, scam everywhere. But with the real estate business, and with the real estate business, the moment you get a domain name, the least you can do is sell it for the exact amount. You not even the exact amount, sell it for the exact amount with just a little profit on top of it. That is the risk in it. But for the real estate, brick and mortar real estate business, it is just far more than that. You could get a land that end up not appreciating but rather depreciating, and just sell it at a loss. It happens, my friends. I have friends in that particular in the real estate and business, and when they tell me something's happening there, you really get it's crazy. The things happening there is really crazy. Though when you do make profit, you make it very big, and you make it really big with the real estate business and brick and mortar one. That's why you see a lot of persons getting in. But there are some certain periods, season, time of the year that or some occasions. Take for instance, during the lockdown, a lot of the real estate and businesses, those into it, they were really complaining. But not so with the virtual real estate, talking about domain flipping. As a matter of fact, during the lockdown, this business was booming like mad. The third reason is that it involves small capital investment. For you to kickstart domain flipping business, you just need little amount of money. With 20 to 50,000 naira, you have started domain flipping business. But not so with a brick and mortar real estate business that involves millions for you to get a property, then whether a landed property or the one already built on, before you can start selling. Though there are methods you can actually use, you don't need to pay for all those things. You can act like a middleman and sell and get your commission. Yes, it can be done that way. But if you really want to get into the brick and mortar real estate business, on full time, like the big boys, you need to be buying these assets and holding good for a while, then you now sell off and even build on it and sell, just as some of my friends in the business are doing. And this involves this is capital intensive. It is really capital intensive. Now, some of the other reasons that I didn't put in here is that learning domain flipping doesn't take a whole lot of time. Like some of you going through this series of trainings right now, in the next few days, even in the next few days, you could flip your first domain. You could go through the whole training in one day, and in a week or two you become a master. But not so with the real estate business. The real estate business takes a whole lot of time and mentorship and coaching and training for you to be conversant with everything happening in that industry. It takes a whole lot of time. So these are some of the reasons I will consider right now. There are a whole lot of other reasons why domain flipping business anyone should think of getting into it, when you now compare it with the real brick and mortar real estate business. So thank you and God bless. And when we come next, we are going to be looking at why some certain domains sold for big boss. So we are going to analyze these domains and then try as much as possible when doing our own research to reverse engineer what made these domains to actually sell for this big box. This is very important. This is very key. So thank you. See you in the next training.